DLC.
One of my most anticipated games of the year came out this week, which is very long list because this year has had so many anticipated games. But I was a huge fan of the first Talos Principle, and Talos Principle 2 was released last week, end of last week. I didn't talk about it on last week's show, but I have been playing it a lot. And I absolutely love it. This is if you aren't aware of the Talos Principle, this is Crow Team's first-person puzzle game. This is a pure puzzle game in that you are literally walking into rooms. You pass through a force field, walk into a room that is a completely contained puzzle box, and you have to do whatever you have to do in there to solve the puzzle to move on to the next room. A series of rooms connected unlock a door, which is one of several doors. So it's just nesting puzzles all the way down. What Talos Principle 2 brings to the table is a much more robust story and fictional world that you're inside as you're solving those puzzles. And I think that is quite remarkable. It is additive. It does enhance the experience for me. This is a game that has very big philosophical introspection. It is a game that is wrestling with the big ideas about what it is to be human. It is it is a game that quotes great philosophers, quotes Greek mythology. It is trying to sort of as you are doing these very fun puzzles, it is then interspersing kind of deep thoughts. And if you're not into that, that could be a turnoff. For me, I thought that was cool and fun. You are playing as an AI, as a robot in a post-human version of a world, and you're kind of experiencing. I don't want to spoil anything, but you're kind of examining what it is to be human or not human, to have consciousness or not have consciousness. And I think those themes are fascinating for me as a science fiction fan and as a philosophy fan. But the real meat and potatoes of this game, and all of that is, by the way, is served to you through interacting with other characters, dialogue options, interacting, reading journals and records of a civilization that used to be here, and sort of typical video gamey stuff. But the real meat and potatoes of the game are the puzzles, and the puzzles are just stellar. I mean, it's top tier. If you like games like Portal or what's another great sort of first-person puzzle game? Actually, the game that it most reminds me of, to be honest, is one of my favorite games of all time, which is The Witness.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Yeah. So because like The Witness, Talos Principle 2 deposits you in this big world. It's not an open world, but there are open sections of it. And you wander around, and part of the puzzle of the world is the way the world is laid out. So there are these, like I said, very self-contained puzzle rooms. And the things you'll be doing in it are like shooting lasers and trying to connect lasers with these little pods that you can pick up, and little devices that let you bore a hole through a wall, or change the color of the laser to try to match it to the keyhole that it needs to go in, or like all these various, I think kind of cool, but very dry concepts in a sense. I mean, it's very pure puzzle solving. It's putting cubes on platforms. It's shooting lasers around corners. It's very much like you're in a puzzle room, like Portal, or The Witness. And the way it relates to The Witness is that the environment itself also is a puzzle, and you're wandering around these things, and there's clues in the environment, and there's things the environment tells you. And so, I don't think it is as sort of refined as The Witness, but it's very close. And it's also very good looking game. The engine is really, really pretty. So you're in these gorgeous 3D rendered environments that look nearly photoreal in certain certain areas. You're in sort of beautiful outdoor areas, or sort of temple-like, or sort of sci-fi areas. And you're just kind of opening more doors, accessing more areas of the environment, learning more about this history, and kind of delving into these philosophical questions. So for a lot of folks, that sounds really boring, and there's not much action to be found. But for me, it's catnip. I mean, I've played this for many, many hours. I plan to play many, many more of it. It delivers that feeling that I think people remember from Portal, and probably from The Witness if you played The Witness. But certainly Portal is the poster child for oh my God, this is impossible. Oh my God, I'm a genius. I am a genius. And that, going from I have, beating your head against the wall, I have no idea how to do this, to, oh, it all becomes clear, and I am a golden god. I love that. I love that feeling. And the Talos Principle 2 delivers that feeling in spades. It is over and over and over. I got to a point where I'm just like sitting there wandering around, trying to do that, trying. And then it clicks, and you go, oh, beautiful. And I am brilliant for thinking of this. And I did it. And then what is your reward? A new puzzle. It's just like, it's layers and layers and layers of puzzles all the way down. But just an awesome game. If you're into puzzle games, this is a must buy, in my opinion. I think the Talos Principle 1 was great. And this does feel like Portal to Portal 2 level of progression in how, the more sophisticated version of the idea, and the more robust storytelling, the more sort of fleshed out fantasy world, sci-fi world. It's excellent. Talos Principle 2, another game that I think deserves to be in that game of the year conversation, in my opinion.
Wild. Yeah. I haven't touched 2, but I played 1, didn't finish it, but because I'm not as smart as you are, Jeff. I would hit some of those points, and I wouldn't have those revelations. But yeah, there's something about all of the deep themes that the first game, touched upon, mixed with staring at lasers and just kind of like just trying to take in the environment. Like those two were just peanut butter and chocolate, man. Like they really give you the time to just kind of sit and soak up those themes. And I thought those were a great match.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome game. Christian, it doesn't seem like a game that you might dig, but man, I think this is in the conversation for, like, it's another just top tier game from 2023.
Which I'm glad we're doing the hard work of having our top 25 favorite games of the year this year. It'll still be a heck of a list to make, but I'm glad we're giving ourselves that little bit of breathing.
Yeah, right. I wish.
Breathing room.
I think we could probably do 25 and still be like, well, there's a few I left out.
Yeah, 100%. Here's my other 5. 100%.